Hi everyone, welcome to Facebook Live. My name is Jessica from What I Have Learned, and I am so glad that you are here with me this morning. This Facebook Live is just a little bit different. I'm not using any slides, not using my computer, so I'm just using my phone for this one and just trying to experiment with things a little bit differently. But this one is also just more focused on you as a teacher. It's not as much about the content or the professional development, but how are you going to focus your year this year. So the title of it is, what is your focus for the year? And we'll give you a little bit of backstory about how to figure that out and how to work with your year and your curriculum and really just narrow it down to what is it that you want to get done this year? What is your focus and how are you going to focus on it? I know for me, when I first started teaching, it's been 16, 17 years since I first started teaching. My first year of teaching, I was completely overwhelmed, like most of us are, and I didn't know what I didn't know. I mean, that's always what I say when I talk to teachers. It's like I didn't have a clue what I was doing and how to do it and how to put it all together. My second year of teaching, I knew what I needed to do, but I didn't know how to do it. So just a little bit of a shift there of, okay, I know what I need to get done throughout the day, but I don't know exactly how to, focus on it, how to get it done, because there was so much to do. Third year of teaching got a little bit better. Fourth year of teaching was probably that golden year of I actually figured out what I needed to do and I had systems in place to figure out how to do it. So if you're within your first 3 to 5 years of teaching, know that it is a struggle. It's going to be a struggle. The struggle gets easier as you go along, but even in my 16th year of teaching, there were still things that I struggled with, things that didn't work the way I wanted them to, and I was always having to troubleshoot different things. So the title of this Facebook Live is, what is your focus for the year? And throughout my teaching career, I have tried to have, except for the first year of teaching because it was just so overwhelming, but tried to have a focus for the year. What is it that I'm concentrating on and working on for this year? And I usually narrow it down to one thing, or really one subject area, but one focus for the year that I can concentrate on all year long and just go really, really deep with it. You want to be able to have your focus be broad enough that you can go deep. So you don't want it to be so specific that you can't do a lot with it. But my second year of teaching, my focus was reading assessments, trying to figure out how to assess my students and figure out what they knew and didn't know in terms of reading so that I could then teach them. But it was really focused on the routine for reading assessments, how I could get them done without subs, how I could look at the data with reading assessments, how I could use that data to inform instruction. The next year of teaching was about getting my systems in place with small group reading so that I could now use that assessment data to impact students. After my third year of teaching was really focused on math. So I focused on how to deepen my understanding of math, reading professional development books, going to training, all of that kind of stuff, and just digging down deep with math. At one point, I focused on writing and looking at how to develop different routines for writing. I generally teach in low-income schools with a lot of English learners, so a lot of my focus throughout the years has been to scaffold learning for them, develop sentence frames, and figure out how to really scaffold learning for them using sentence frames and helping them bridge the content to what they could express with their level of English. So between both of those, it's just different focuses throughout the year. I have a blog post that I'll link up in just a minute that is called, But You Can't Do It All. And so often in my teaching career, I have felt like I have to do everything and I have to do everything really, really well. And that's kind of a myth in our teaching world, is that you can't do everything and you can't do everything really, really well. If you develop a focus every year throughout your teaching career, you will get better and better at different areas of teaching because of that focus. So you can really develop and develop different areas and then just build on that area the next year. So like my second year of teaching, it was about assessments. And then the next year was about reading groups and rotations. And so it's about developing who you are as a teacher and knowing that you can't do it all because it's impossible. No one can do it all. So what is it that you are going to do really well? And being able to focus on that. One thing that you can do really, really well. There's a book in business world. And so since I've been doing a lot of business stuff over the past couple of years, it's called The One Thing. This is probably backward on your screen because my Facebook Lives have been backward for my phone. But you can get the idea of what the cover looks like. And it is all about focusing on one thing and then doing that one thing really, really well and then moving on to the next one thing to focus on. And I tend to do it over the course of a school year because it is a natural progression of a start and an end date. That works really well for me. But you can also set it up by quarter or by season. If you want to take the fall season, you're going to focus on one thing during that fall season. The idea is that you do have to do everything as a teacher because you have to run reading groups. You have to do whole group instruction. You have to do math, social studies, science, depending on the school that you're in, all of those subject areas. You have to manage your classroom. You have to attend meetings after school. There is a lot that you have to do, but you don't have to do everything to the depth that you would want to focus on that one thing. So I'm not saying don't do the other stuff because your principal might get, angry with you if you don't do reading groups or whatever it is that you're having to do. But figure out what it is that you're going to focus on. What are you going to study? What are you going to read professional development books on? What are you going to take professional development on? What are you going to focus on for that year? And then get really, really good at that one thing. Once you are good at that one thing, move on to another one thing that you're going to get really, really good at. If you try and spread yourself too thin, you're not going to do anything really well. So, focus and get to figuring out what you can do that's going to be your focus for the year. If you already know your focus for the year, I would love for you to leave it in the comments. If you're watching this live or if you're watching it, not live, feel free to leave a comment and tell me what that one thing is that you're going to focus on. I'm always excited to see how teachers are going to, just improve themselves over the course of the year and work on their classroom over the year. So I'm reading a comment from Erin, great video, great article. That is never say anything a kid can say, and I can't see the rest of the message because it says see more, but definitely, figuring out how to focus. So that's my encouraging word for you today just the message is, what is your focus for the year? So thank you for being here with me today, and a little bit different of a Facebook Live, a little bit shorter, less content focused and more just teacher focused. And just enjoy your Saturday, enjoy your rest of your day, and have a great weekend. I'll see you in about another week because we're going out of town this week and want to make sure you know that we're not going to be doing Facebook Lives this week, but coming in August, I think 2nd